I am Aaron with a quick one, brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy. Assassination, a black comedy thriller written and directed by Sam Levinson, is a film that explores the dynamics of violence and secrecy in a time when social media reigns supreme. This movie behaves as irreverently toward these subjects as it does its audience, its tone and techniques often clashing ruthlessly with the brutal reality at hand, leaving the viewer feeling both entertained and violated. There are no quiet moments, no heartfelt conversations, and no sense of resolution or accomplishment, reinforcing the overarching sense of superficiality and vacancy running rampant in our modern world. The film centers around 4 high school girls, Lily, Bex, Em, and Sarah, and an upper-middle-class community who are increasingly caught up in a firestorm of chaos that begins when a hacker starts leaking personal information online. The first victims are individuals in position of power, the homophobic mayor and the high school principal. The extreme public backlash and consequences are treated by the community with a kind of careless bemusement, a train wreck they're more than willing to watch and laugh at. Things take a drastic turn for the worst when suddenly more than half everyone's private information is made public. Lily's exposure causes her to be humiliated by her boyfriend and family, and thrown into the streets to be subsequently harassed in one of the most painful walk of shame sequences ever filmed. Things escalate when most of the men in the town form a masked mob and take to the streets to get revenge on those they feel have wronged them, and the 4 girls are forced to flee or fight back to avoid being lynched by this golem of toxic masculinity. The resulting violence and chaos are rapidly dialed up to 11, and the culminating events take on an almost farcical tone while simultaneously treating the audience to severe and unrelenting brutality. The third act of this film will undoubtedly be the linchpin on whether you'll enjoy this movie or not, although the movie seems to concern itself very little with your opinion, and for that it has my respect. This is not a movie for everyone. For many, the violence and transgressive subjects will be enough to turn them away faster than their stomachs, and for others, the tone and irreverent attitude will leave them feeling empty and disgusted. I personally thought it was an incredible cinematic achievement, and while rude and at times dismissive to an almost amoral degree, this film is able to make a powerful statement about the kind of world we live in and the dangers we've exposed ourselves to by holding the entire public sphere in our hands while we take a selfie. This film is a Dorian Gray portrait of our modern world, and while we might be unwilling to look at it, the failure to acknowledge its existence is vastly more dangerous. I give this movie 5 out of 7 selfies. This has been Aaron with a quick one, brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy.
What's up, crew? If you got any idea of what you would like for us to talk about on The Minute or on Movie Night Autopsy podcast, hit us up on the social medias. You can hit us up on Twitter at movie_autopsy. Check us out on Facebook at Movie Night Autopsy. Always feel free to email us, contact@movienightautopsy.com.